Some of you may know, if you Google me or you look me up on YouTube, you'll see I've done a lot of videos about Israel, defending Israel, different things about apartheid, about BDS, about the Jewish refugees, a whole number of different angles about my take on the double standard and Israel in general. And one of the things that opened my eyes to is, I kind of grow up in a bubble. I grow up in the Jewish community, even though I wasn't raised religious. I grew up in the secular Jewish community. Even there, the support and love for Israel is pretty strong, and of course, the love for the Jewish people is there. And once I start reading some of those comments on YouTube, I was just shocked and appalled by what is out there. And one of the things, some of it is intellectual disagreements, which is fine. People have their different ways of thinking, but some of it is just outright anti-Semitism, and it's just hatred. And one of the things that's really scary is Holocaust denial. And I've seen it many, many times from lots of different people on YouTube. There are people who very strongly don't believe the Holocaust happened. They really think it's a hoax, it's a fraud that's been perpetrated on the world by some whatever elites who are running the planet, and it's not just a few people out there. And that was something that was very shocking to me. And after I realized that, I thought that it was just necessary to write a song reminding people and educating people about the Holocaust. And I'll explain why we're going to do this afterwards. But I'm starting off with something a little heavy here. We're gonna raise up. We're gonna raise up with Simcha, but we're gonna start here, right? So 6 million Jewish lives were lost, murdered in the Holocaust. And yet online I find there's folks who claim that it's some kind of hoax. But I know the facts because I've met eyewitnesses who can't forget, and I wrote this song so the truth lives on long after the last survivor's gone. Now, Nazi Germany had a fixation on attaining racial purification. They wanted a white bread Aryan nation, no place for Jews in their civilization. At first, we just faced discrimination, humiliation, and intimidation, but there was a gradual escalation, and soon it was all out segregation. Without any warning or justification, they rounded up the Jewish population, locked us in ghettos with no sanitation and so little food, we died of starvation. But that was before they began Operation Reinhard, which called for the liquidation of every Jew through mass deportation to facilities built for extermination. 6 million Jewish lives were lost, murdered in the Holocaust, and yet online I find there's folks who claim that it's some kind of hoax. But I know the facts because I've met eyewitnesses who can't forget, and I wrote this song so the truth lives on long after the last survivor's gone. We were directed to the nearest train station, sent from there straight to concentration camps. No idea that the situation would get much worse at our destination. They lined us up for examination. Those who were fit for an occupation worked as slaves with no compensation and so little food they died of starvation. Others were used for experimentation like sterilization through radiation, receiving unneeded amputations, transplants, injections, and mutilations, but most went straight to extermination in gas chambers with no ventilation. The Zyklon B, upon inhalation, caused them internal asphyxiation. They clawed at the walls in desperation, but in the end there was no salvation. Thousands a day in the same location were gassed and then dragged out for cremation. 6 million Jewish lives were lost, murdered in the Holocaust. And yet online I find there's folks who claim that it's some kind of hoax. But I know the facts because I've met eyewitnesses who can't forget, and I wrote this song so the truth lives on long after the last survivor's gone. Now, when the war finally reached its culmination and the camps were close to emancipation, the SS, in a last act of desperation, ordered a massive evacuation, marched us from location to location through miles of snow on the brink of starvation. Thousands too weak to make the migration were shot en route to their destination. And when the few who survived the concentration camps finally received liberation, they still had no cause for celebration. Frail with disease and emaciation, they'd witnessed the total annihilation of the European Jewish population, a death toll beyond exact calculation, but we do have a pretty good estimation. 6 million Jewish lives were lost, murdered in the Holocaust, and yet online I find there's folks who claim that it's some kind of hoax. But I know the facts because I've met eyewitnesses who can't forget, and I wrote this song so the truth lives on long after the last survivor's gone. So the reason I wanted to share that song today is today's actually Zayin Adar. Zayin Adar is it's the yahrzeit of Moshe Rabbeinu, the day that our prophet Moshe, he died. You know, the greatest prophet Israel had, he died on this day, and the story goes that Haman, he actually picked Adar as the month to wipe out the Jewish people, because he saw, this was the day that their most powerful leader died. He died in this month of Adar. This is the month I can get them. And really, if you read the story, it's pretty clear that what he wanted to do to the Jewish people was basically what Hitler tried to do. He wanted to kill everyone, and not just in one country, in the whole world. You know, Achashverosh, if you know history, during that time, the Persian Empire was like the world government. They ran 127 different countries. And so to say a decree, we're going to kill every Jew in this empire, it was like every Jew in the world, basically. And really, I think what people need to wrap their heads around, if they want to really experience the full joy of Purim, is the Holocaust. Because if you can appreciate, wow, that's what they were trying to do to us. That's what Haman wanted to do to us. And yet by a miracle, it was transformed, and it happened to him and our enemies instead of us. So this next song I'm going to share with you is I wrote it a number of years ago. And when I wrote it, there was this guy, Ahmadinejad. He was the president of Iran. And, I started to notice there's a lot of similarities between this guy and the villain in the Purim story. Both of them, of course, are from the same place, right? Shushan is in modern-day Iran. Also, Ahmadinejad, he wasn't like the supreme leader of Iran. He was like the president. He's like this, sort of the advisor, the step down. He doesn't really call the shots, but he has a lot of influence. So same position also in the country. Just like Haman is not the leader of Shushan. He just kind of is got the king's ear. So both of them have the same role in the same place, and they're both clearly have it in for the Jewish people. Ahmadinejad was a public Holocaust denier and clear anti-Semite. And I just noticed all these parallels, so I wanted to write a song to Ahmadinejad, call him out. And obviously he's gone the way of the rest of Israel's enemies, but you can just substitute the next one in line for him when I sing this song here. So this song goes out to Ahmadinejad. The Jews don't fear you, we fear God. We don't give a damn about your evil plans, cause no man can stand up against God's hand. Not the first to curse us, won't be the last. And if I were you, I would learn from the past. Many came before you to do us wrong, but they're all long gone and we still stand strong. Now in ancient Iran lived a man named Haman, who rose in the capital of Shushan. When he walked down the street, every man he would meet was commanded to bow to the ground at his feet. But there was one guy named Mordechai, a Jew who served only God Most High. A day after day he refused to obey, so Haman decided he would make him pay. But it wasn't enough just to kill one man. Instead he devised a grand master plan and persuaded the king to kill every Jew from the land of Cush all the way to Hodu. Drew random lots to determine the date, put our people's lives in the hands of fate, and it fell on the 13th day of Adar. They would slay every Jew both near and far. When we heard the news, we wept and fasted. Sackcloth and ashes spread through the masses. We humbled our hearts, all of Yisrael, prayed that the wicked Haman would fail. This song goes out to Ahmadinejad. The Jews don't fear you, we fear God. We don't give a damn about your evil plan, cause no man can stand up against God's hand. Not the first to curse us, won't be the last. And if I were you, I would learn from the past. Many came before you to do us wrong, but they're all long gone and we still stand strong. Now Haman just could not wait for the date that the Jewish people would meet their fate, cause every day he saw Mordechai at the gate and his heart was filled with so much hate. When he complained to his friends and his wife, they told Haman, just take that Jew's life. So he built the gallows 50 amos high and tried to have the king hang Mordechai. But the queen secretly turned out to be a girl from a nice Jewish family. And she came in to the king, told him that someone was trying to wipe out her kin. Enraged that anyone would threaten the life of those close to the woman he chose as a wife, the king asked her, "Who's behind this plan?" She replied, "This wicked Haman is the man." He trembled in terror. He lost control. He begged Queen Esther to spare his soul. But the king decided Haman must die on the gallows that he had made for Mordecai. This song goes out to Ahmadinejad. The Jews don't fear you, we fear God. We don't give a damn about your evil plan, 'cause no man can stand up against God's hand. Not the first to curse us, won't be the last. If I were you, I would learn from the past. Many came before you to do us wrong, but they're all long gone and we still stand strong. Now, president of Iran, you're just like Haman, but instead of the gallows, you're building a bomb. You want to see Mordecai's family dead, but your wickedness will drop down on your own head. Open your ears, we won't disappear. Been here 3,800 years. We were slaves to Pharaoh, but God set us free and tossed the Egyptians in the Red Sea. The wicked Balak and Bilam tried messing with us, but their curse turned into a blessing. Canaanites tried to fight us, but all of them had to fall like Jericho's walls. Goliath the Philistine talked a lot before we got knocked out with a slingshot. Assyrians conquered every other land, but they ran when they came up against God's hand. Babylon took us into captivity, but we're back. They've been gone since BCE. And Haman, who decreed every Jew should die, got hanged on the gallows he made for Mordecai. Our enemies fade, but we still exist. Do you really want to add your name to the list? You've been warned. If you don't proceed with caution, we'll name a food after you like Hamantashen.
That's amazing. Thank you very, very much.
No problem.
Let's
No
start your
problem.
Did Nefesh in a moment, which is 151 in the blue and 590 in the brown. Ari, that was incredible. Really looking forward to the service itself. And L'chaim, everybody, please participate in the service.
Chaim, Chaim.
L'chaim, it's not a spectator sport.
ידי נפש, אברחמן משוך עבדך רצונך, ירוץ עבדך כמו הים, ישתחווה ימול לדרך, ירב לו ידידיך מנופסו ויכולתם אדוני זיו העולם נפשי כל אסבסך אנא אל נא רפנה לה בארוס לנו עם זיווך אז תתחזק וסיסרפא והיסלה שמחה זולם וסיימו רחמך וחוסנה על בן אהובך כי זה כמה נחשפתי לירוס בספרס עוזך אליך חמדה ליבי וחוסנה ואל תסלם.
I'm going to pause for a moment, Ari. Just to pause. The real beauty of Ari, besides his beautiful singing, is also his ability to translate these amazing words of the Psalms in English. So if I could ask you just to finish this one in English so people can hear the way you reinterpret every single part of davening so that it's modern and relevant to everyone here.
Yes. So I'll do the last two here. Please, O pious one, arouse your compassion, and let there be mercy on your beloved Son. For the longest time I've been waiting longingly to behold your power in its full glory. This is the only thing my heart desires, so I pray that you show me mercy and don't hide yourself away. Oh, my beloved, reveal yourself and spread the shelter of your tranquility above my head. Let the world be lit by the light of your glory, and we will rejoice in you and be happy. Hurry up, oh love, for the time has come to show favor to us as you did in ages long ago.
We're going to start. Page 308 in the brown and 154 in the blue. We're going to start L'chor Naranana. And again, anything that Ari does in English, you want to also simultaneously look at the English to see what he's done with it. He's kept so true to the original, but being able to reinterpret a long-needed reinterpretation for the modern times and for the modern ear, which so often, so much of the prayer seems so archaic and so distant and so strange to us. And he's really been able to internalize them for himself. And once you've internalized something for yourself, it's a long way to giving it to others.
So we'll start off with a little English translation. We'll alternate, go back and forth here. So, come, let's sing to Hashem and rejoice to the rock of our salvation. Lift your voice, let us greet him with thanksgiving. Let's call out to him with the songs we sing. For a great God is Hashem, a great king, above every other godly thing. The depths of the earth are in his hand, and for him the peaks of the mountains stand. 'Cause his is the sea and the dry land, he perfected and fashioned them with his hand. Come now, let's bow ourselves to the ground before Hashem, our maker. Kneel down like sheep, our God will shepherd us all. Even today, if we heed his call, don't harden your heart like at Meribah, that day in the desert of Massah. Back then your ancestors tested me. They tested me though they'd seen my deeds. For 40 years I argued with them. I quarreled with that generation till I said, a weak-hearted people are they, and they do not know my ways. So I swore in anger they would not be blessed to enter into my place of rest. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד נורא הוא. I'll call Elohim, ki kol Elohim, Melelim, Baronai Shamayim, Masa, Hod vehadar lefanavos, vesiferes b'mikdasho, Avul Adonai mishpechos amim, Avul Adonai kavod vaoz, Avul Adonai kivod shemo. שאו מנך ובואו לחצרותיו איי 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 השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש חילום מפניו כל הארץ זמרו וגויים אדוני מלך עתיקון תבל בעל תימהון ידין עמים במישרים ישמחו השמיים ויסגל הארץ ירם הים ומלוא יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו איי איי אז ירננו כל עד שיער לפני אדוני קיבה לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו איי 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 Let the world rejoice because Hashem is king. Let the many islands all be happy and sing. Thick cloud and darkness always surround his place. On righteousness and justice his throne is based. Before his face fire goes forth coming down. And the flame consumes his tormentors all around. The earth it gets lit up by the lightning bolts he hurls. They see and they tremble, those dwelling in the world. Before the face of Hashem, mountains made of granite melt away like wax before the master of the planet. By the very heavens his righteousness is declared and his glory is apparent to the people everywhere. All idol worshippers who take pride in Elohim will be put to shame. They'll bow to him, every Elohim. O lovers of Hashem, hate evil, for he stands guarding souls of his devout, saves them from wicked hands. Just like a seed for the righteous, he sows light, he sows happiness for the hearts of the upright. O righteous ones, rejoice in Hashem and proclaim grateful praise at the mention of his holy name. מזמור שירו לאדוני שיר חדש כי נפלאות עשה הושיע לו ימינו וזרוע קדשו אדוני ישועתו לעיני גויים גילתי גסו זכר חסדו ואמונתו לבית ישראל ראו כל אפסי הארץ את ישוע אז אלוהינו אריו לאדוני כל הארץ פיצחו ורננו וזמרו זמרו לאדוני בכינור וכל זמרה בחצות צירוס וכל שופר הריו לפני המלך אדוני ירם הים ומלוא תבל ויושבבה נהרות שמחה וכף יחד הרים ירננו לפני אדוני קיבה לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק וימים במישרים איי 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 ay ay yada da 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 ay ay yada ay ay yada da da ay ay yada ay ay yada da 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 oh ay ay yada da da ay ay yada ay yada da da ay ay Hashem, his reign, let the people shake. He sits on the cherubim, make an earthquake. Hashem is great throughout Zion. Above all the peoples, he stands alone. Let them praise your name gratefully, for it is great, awesome, and holy. Mighty is the King who loves justice. Fairness is what you have established. Justice, it was made by you, and the righteousness of Yaakov to exalt Hashem, our God. Take a knee, bow down at his footstool. Holy is he. משה ואהרון בחוכנה ושמואל בגורי שמעון קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענה בעמוד ענן ידבר עליהם, שמרו עדו יישא וחוק נשן למון. אדוני אלוהינו אתה נישא, אל נוסע יישא להם, ונוקם על עלילה יישא. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו, והשתחוו להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Everybody please rise.
המזמור לדוד, אבו לאדוני בנעלים, אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, ישתחוו לאדוני ביד פרס קודש, כל אדוני על המים אל הכבוד ירים, אדוני על מים רבים, הכל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני באדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני יזעזע לבנון, ויקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסריון כמו ואין רמים, כל אדוני חושף לאבוז אש, כל אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו מכבוד, אדוני למבול ישב, ישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך זעמו בשלום.
I'm going to read on a Bakar quietly, and now I will say a few words. So I'm going to remove the spotlight from Ari. If anyone would like to just press speaker view. So I don't know how to say this. A few years ago, somebody came to see me, and they told me that they were thinking about their life, and they wanted to make a dramatic change in their life. And I've heard that many times before. But it's very rare that it's meant as sincerely as it comes out. And I spent some time with this person, and they told me that they wanted to be a Jew. And again, I've heard that many times before, but they said, no, I really mean it sincerely. I really want to be a Jew, and I want to dedicate my life to that. And I did what rabbis do, and I told them it's not so simple. It's a tough task. In London, the Beth Din are particularly demanding to make sure that you really go through the experience of what it means to be a Jew. And they said, I'm up for it. And I'm proud to announce a new member of our community, Elisheva Chava. It's a Jewish name she chose. Imogen, who I'm going to unmute for a moment, just went to mikvah and is a proud member of our community now. And we have so much love. And she showed us, you know, very often when people go through conversion, you see this more. They're willing to give so much more than we who take what we have for granted. And that's not what Imogen, that's not what Elisheva is like. She's someone who gave Judaism 110%. And with a special thanks to Howard Turner, who put so much effort into helping her, and I'm sure Imogen will say something. I couldn't be prouder, more humble, and more overjoyed to be able to unmute Imogen Elisheva Chava and welcome her into our community as a full-fledged Jewish girl, an Eshet Chayil, a true mother of Israel. When you listen to her and you hear, we should all feel what it means and how Ashreinu Matev Chalkeinu, how lucky we are. But we shouldn't take what we have for granted and understand that people are willing to give away their life and soul and years of their life to be a part of something that we just take as if it's nothing, and we so often reject it or don't engage properly. Please take a lesson. And if conversion can make somebody into a Jew, conversion should surely make a Jew into a Jew. And we all need to go to mikveh. When we hear of something like this, we all need to immerse ourselves and come out a completely different person. This should inspire us to a reconversion, a reacceptance, and a renewal of everything we hold dear. L'chaim Imogen, l'chaim Elisheva Chava, welcome home, and thank you for teaching me the way. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm quite emotional. My father was Jewish and my mother was not, and I always felt odd in my body. And my father told me of a story the other day where I went to shul for Rosh Hashanah. We always did things, and I was always in the community. And we went to synagogue for Rosh Hashanah, and I got to the foyer and I had a meltdown, and I said, I'm not allowed to be here. I am not a Jew. I have to leave. And we left because I refused to go inside, because I said, everyone knows that I'm a fake, right? And we left anyway. And so I met Rabbi Wise 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many years ago it was now. And he made me feel so at home and welcome, and everyone in the synagogue did. I never felt, not that maybe you all knew, but it was very difficult for me. Anyway, the journey, I had to learn all these things, the things I never knew, and Howard has spent the last year teaching me and bringing this to light and giving me making it, giving me passion and excitement about everything I was learning, and with all his mystical insights. And every day we would learn on Zoom together to try and get through this hard conversion experience. And yesterday I went to the mikveh, and that was the most incredible experience that I've ever had in my whole entire life. And I came out, and if you think I'm crying now, I was weeping, okay? This is nothing on what happened to me yesterday. And I came out a new person who's Jewish, which is something I've always wanted to be. And I think as much as I would have loved to be born Jewish, and maybe I wasn't, without this experience, I never would have maybe found God and found a religion in the way that I have found it. And my father's born Jewish and can do whatever he wants. You know, he's still a Jew. And I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, I definitely reiterate what Rabbi Weiss said, which is, don't take it for granted, because it took me years to get here. And there are so many amazing elements to being Jewish, and community and learning and Torah and connection with God and with your friends and family. So I don't want to take up any more time, but thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Imogen. That was incredible. And thank you so much for sharing. A big, big mazel tov. Wow. Thank you, L'chaim, L'chaim again. Imogen, Ari has a special song for you, because Sheva means so many things, but in the simplest meaning, it means 7. And I know you didn't choose it just for that reason. You should just look on the chat if you want some love, Imogen. It's coming in thick and fast. You should save this. And Ari's going to sing a song about the number 7, with just to honor the choosing of your name, Elisha Chava. That was unbelievably emotional. I've never experienced something like that before, and you've truly uplifted and inspired a community that maybe needed a bit of inspiration. So for everybody who needed a bit of a push, Imogen's here for you. Elisha Chava, l'chaim, l'chaim.
So what a beautiful, oh my gosh, incredible journey. I know all about it. My wife is also a convert, and so I know it is not easy, and it is an incredible thing you've accomplished. So Yasher Koach, it's amazing. The Gemara I learned Daf Yomi, and the Gemara just said the whole reason that the Jewish people were scattered around the world is because we were supposed to like find these neshamas like you and gather them in. It says the whole lashon of reaping that we were sown. Reaping, you reap more than you sow. So you are the fruits of Hashem scattering the Jewish people all over the place. I was gonna do 7s, but I don't know. I'm feeling Eishes Chayil right now. Maybe I'll do a little Eishes Chayil. So it goes like this. A woman of valor who can find, she's worth far more than a gold mine. Her husband's heart trusts in her, and he shall lack no treasure. She's good to him and never does him wrong. Every day, her whole life long, she searches for wool and flax. Her hands make up for all she lacks. Like a merchant ship is she, bringing food from across the sea. While it's still night, she'll rise from bed, make sure her whole household gets fed. She pictures a field, buys the land, plants a vineyard from the fruit of her hands. Strength is wrapped around her waist with courage, both her arms are braced. She tastes that her trade is good, her light is not snuffed out even at night. Sends her hands to the wheels, spinning spools of thread into linen, spreads a palm to the poor man, and to the needy she lends her hand for her house. She has no fear of snows, her family's dressed in the warmest clothes. She's made blankets for her bed, her clothes are soft and crimson red. At the gates her husband's a well-known man who sits with the elders of the land. She sells a scarf that she made herself and puts to goods on the market shelf. Dressed with strength and dignity, she laughs at what may come to be. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. The ways of a household she can guess. She eats no bread of laziness. Her children rise and make her proud. Her husband praises her out loud. Many daughters rise to the call, but you've risen above them all. Well, grace is false, beauty's a phase. Let the woman who fears God be praised. The fruit of her hands is all she needs. She'll be praised at the gates by her own deeds. Yeah, grace is false, beauty's a phase. Let the woman who fears God be praised. The fruit of her hands is all she needs. She'll be praised at the gates by her own deeds.
We're going to start L'Chadodi in a moment. Imogen, that song was for you. Just because I've got a few comments, the shul that did not make her feel welcome was not ours. Just so we're clear right from the beginning. But if Imogen, I can guarantee you that as soon as the lockdown's over, you're never going to be Friday night alone. The amount of love and invites I'm sure you'll get from our community. So L'chaim, and thank you so much. We're going to start L'Chadodi. If everybody would like to rise so we can dance to it, that would be amazing. And L'chaim, and yeah, let's continue the service.
You want Hebrew English, Rabbi? Hebrew English, or?
I'm English, so you know.
Okay. All right, let's do it. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבז נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבז נקבלה. Guard and remember was spoken in one word. The God of unity caused it to be heard. Hashem is one. One is his name, for fame and for beauty, and to be proclaimed. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Go forth to welcome Shabbat, let us come, for she is the source that the blessing is from. Chosen to begin with from ancient times, the last to be made, but the first in mind. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Holy royal city of the king, rise up from the midst of the ruins, you'll spring. For too long you've sat in that tearful valley, now he will have pity and show you mercy. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Shake off the dust, rise up from below. My people, get dressed in your beautiful clothes. The son of Yishai from Bethlehem nearby, draw my soul close and redeem it on high. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Wake yourself, it's the time for your light to come, to rise up and shine. Wake up and sing us a tale. Through you the glory of Hashem is unveiled. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Don't be ashamed and don't get confused. Why are you downcast? What makes you blue? My afflicted people take refuge in you. On its site the city will be rebuilt anew. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Those who plundered you will be repaid. All who would destroy you will be far away. Your God will rejoice over you at his side, just like as a groom rejoices over his bride. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. To the right and the left you'll spread out, and you shall worship Hashem, no doubt. With the man on hand who descends from Peretz will rejoice and be as happy as it gets. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Come, O crown of her husband, in peace. Rejoice and sing, let the gladness increase between the faithful, precious human beings. Come, O bride, oh come, Shabbos queen. Lecha dodi likras kala, penei shabaz nekabela. Ay 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 ya da da da. Ay 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 ya da da da. Ay 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 ya da ya da da da. Ay ya da da ya da 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 ya.
We are coming towards the end of the service, but it's not over yet. We still have some more Purim songs. Just to tell you that this Shabbat is called Shabbat Zachor, which is to remember Amalek, and there's a biblical obligation to hear the Torah. Obviously, we can't do so, so you're going to read it in the Chumash throughout Shabbos. So I'm going to send you just 3-4 verses to read. I'm going to send you a WhatsApp link so everybody can read it. Ari, over to you.
All right, so you guys are going to be my test subject. I actually this week was just filming a brand new video. I have a song that's going to be coming out. Bizrat Hashem, it'll all come out in the days before Purim. But you guys will get a little sneak preview right now. So it goes like this. I'm a Jew like Mordechai, just like Esther, dressed so fly. Cause my family is free, living like royalty. We the children of the Most High. See, that wicked Haman doesn't scare us, cause our enemies all get embarrassed. So let's just ignore them, celebrate Purim, and party like a Hashueris. Gotta read the Megillah, that biblical thriller, the book where we took on a cold-blooded killer. Our enemies tried to commit genocide. If Haman had his way, then we all would have died. But after we fasted, Hashem forgave us, and Esther was brave enough to save us. With Mordecai's help, she rewrote the story, transforming Adar from sorrow to glory. A miracle we remember every year by reading that holy scroll loud and clear. Each Jew should recite or hear it by night and again Purim day if they want to do it right. I'm a Jew like Mordecai, just like Esther, dressed so fly, cause my family is free, living like royalty. We the children of the Most High. See that wicked Haman doesn't scare us, cause our enemies all get embarrassed. So let's just ignore them, celebrate Purim and party like a Hashueris. Now it's always a mitzvah to give to the poor, but on Purim we should give even more. So spare what you can, donate to charity, show that you care and share the prosperity. Teaching your children to do outreach by giving to poor people one present each, a meal or at least enough cash for the feast. And it's better of course if those numbers increase, so hand out the dough, let tzedakah flow to orphans and widows whose luck has run low. On the 14th of Adar you cannot say no. Kol haposhet yad notnim lo. I'm a Jew like Mordecai, just like Esther, dressed so fly, cause my family is free, living like royalty. We the children of the Most High. See that wicked Haman doesn't scare us, cause our enemies all get embarrassed. So let's just ignore them, celebrate Purim and party like a Hashueris. God only knows how much good we promote when we do mitzvot like Mishloach Mano, sending out presents just as our ancestors sent gifts to each other in the book of Esther. 2 foods for the feast to one person at least, but when we increase spreading kindness and peace, it's commendable. I'd recommend that you spend much more and send portions to each of your friends, your parents, your siblings, your children, your spouse, your teacher, the rabbi, your Chabad house, anyone who you know from the tribe of Yehuda. Make sure they got plenty of food for the Suda. I'm a Jew like Mordecai, just like Esther, dressed so fly, cause my family is free, living like royalty. We the children of the Most High. See that wicked Haman doesn't scare us, cause our enemies all get embarrassed. So let's just ignore them, celebrate Purim and party like a Hashueris. Now before we begin the feast of Mincha, then start the party with Marbim B'Simcha. Been fun so far, now let's raise the bar, increasing our joy in this month of Adar. Wash and make motzi, then break some bread with the lavish spread and a bottle of red, cause it's time for some wine or your drink of choice as we raise our voices in song and rejoice. Blessed be Mordecai, cursed is Haman. On Purim we drink till the difference is gone. When your thirst is quenched, don't forget to bench and thank God for the miracles like a real mensch. I'm a Jew like Mordecai, just like Esther, dressed so fly, cause my family is free, living like royalty. We the children of the Most High. See that wicked Haman doesn't scare us, cause our enemies all get embarrassed. So let's just ignore them, celebrate Purim and party like a Hashueris.
Ari, that was incredible. Wow. Debut. You are so verbally dexterous. It's unbelievable.
You guys got to hear it with the beat, though. It's so much better. So you got to check out the video.
On Purim.
Bizrat Hashem, the video will be out next week. So
everyone can unmute. Let me just allow everyone to unmute themselves. And a big thank you to Ari and Imogen. Thank you for inspiring our community. So everyone can give some love to Ari, some love to Imogen, and I wish you all a good Shabbos. Yeah.
Good Shabbos, Rabbi.
Let's unmute and share some love. Anyone? Everyone? Did I not allow it to unmute? We can't unmute still. Sorry, I don't know. Ask all to unmute. Let's see. How does that work?
Unmute. There we go.
Beast out of their cages.
To the Jordan!
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Never unmute. Listen here.
Very much.
Welcome, Imogen.
Bye. Bye.
Imogen, can you speak every week?
Charlie Oaken.
Shabbos, thank you, Mazel Tov.
Wonderful words, Ari. Really well done.
Mommy, Daddy, Lily,
Kanye, Europe.
Charlie, Gold Build. Who else there? Carol, Chaim, Thomas, Jonathan, Spittle, Simone. Lily,
Oh,
David
you've
Lewis.
unmuted-
David
you've
Lewis,
muted
show
yourself.
I don't know you. Uli, Chaim.
Shalom, Devorah. Shabbos, everyone. Heather. Shabbos, Imogen. Thank you, Ari.
Good Shabbos, sorry. Greg, good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Oh, Shabbos.
Thank you, Shabbos.
Imogen, in Judaism, it's called, there's an expression that says ger shenit gayer, which means a ger literally means it's a convert in translation, but that's only, shush, I'm talking. That's only in parlance. In real, it means somebody who lives. Someone who's alive, someone who lives somewhere. So the Talmud asks, and many commentaries discuss why it's called a convert who converts, ger shenit gayer. So it should be a non-Jew who converts. Why a convert who converts? So the rabbis answer, it's a Kabbalistic idea that there's no such thing as somebody who converts to Judaism. Some people in the world already have Jewish souls always, and they need to go through a process to identify with that soul. So there's no such thing as somebody, you always had a Jewish soul, and you went through a process to just reveal that soul. So that's the idea. It's a ger shenit gayer, someone who already lives, and they just need to be brought up to that level. And you see that clearly with you. You are, so beautifully Jewish in the most amazing way, and you really touched everyone's heart in the community. On the chat is only the public messages. It says in the Talmud, "Miktzat shvacho b'fanav." You only say half of someone's praise in front of them. So that's it. That was only 50%. And I got the rest in private messages. You've really. How you feeling? It's very brave of you as well to talk about it. Very brave. Michael Costa, long time.
Hi, hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
First Shabbos with the family.
Yeah, sorry, I just got back and I thought I'd check in. I missed the music.
Okay. We're just at the end, but this is when the real magic happens.
Right. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you, Ari.
Imogen, so you're going to light
Right.
candles soon.
Shabbos. Shabbos.
Yeah, I've got lots to
That's
do.
amazing.
I'm sure you can teach me a thing or two. Bye, Rob. Speak to you after
Bye,
Shabbos.
good Shabbos. Looking forward. Bye.
Bye, Dobby.
I'm gonna go. Bye.
Bye, Imogen.
Bye.
Shabbos
What's
as
up,
well.
Oh, you too.
Shabbos.
You're at work? If you're at work, then you should have a l'chaim. Get through the work day. Ask Ari. Ari, what are you doing for Purim?
Purim, got big plans with the family. My wife is excited to have me nearby. I got some Zoom stuff, but it's it's unusual that I'm home, so she really she's stoked that I'm here and I get to participate. We got some costumes. We got a whole plan. So I'm
Someone
excited.
told me the other day that I'm greedy. I'm sure they meant it as a compliment, which is fine. Give us a rap. Tell us something that we haven't heard from you before. Last time we pushed you, we got Martin Luther and the
all right.
Declaration
Well,
of Independence. So let's do something completely different.
I was thinking about because Yeah, because it's actually Zain Adar is my anniversary. 7 years actually. 7 years today we've been together. And my wife, like I said, is also a convert. So I have a song about her. So I'm going to share this. This song is called Pearl, and just made me think of it listening to the story here. So.
Beautiful.
I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but none of them compares to my precious pearl. Yes, I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but none of them compares to my precious pearl. Well, I've strolled through the markets of silver and gold, had a chance to behold all the treasures they sold. Some pieces I saw there which had no flaw, and others got tossed after Mardi Gras. 'Cause not all that glitters is gold. It might look like 24 karat and it's just pyrite. Is it the highest grade whose price will never fade? Or that cheap fake man-made brass field overlaid? There's some beautiful jewels made of worthless stuff, and some ugly rocks that are diamonds in the rough. But I can tell a true gemstone from a phony one. Can't fool me with that cubic zirconium. I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but no one compares to my precious pearl. Yes, I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but none of them compares to my precious pearl. From onyx and ebony as black as night, to ivory that's white like the morning's light. I've seen gems every color of the rainbow in the sky, opals and topaz and tiger's eye, rose quartz and garnets are strung on a thread, jasper and rubies of radiant red, agate and amber as orange as fire, and every shade of jade that a man could desire. I've seen emeralds of green that are fit for a queen, a tourmaline, a turquoise, an aquamarine, malachite, moldavite, kyanite too, some lapis lazulis and sapphires of blue, a long list of crystals, purple amethyst, all the most beautiful jewels that exist. Hot on the market, they're worth quite a lot, but I would trade them all for the pearl I got. I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but no one compares to my precious pearl. Yes, I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but none of them compares with my precious pearl. Her story began as a speck of sand, stranded on the shore of a foreign land. She was one in a million, a grain contained in the Persian Gulf off the coast of Bahrain. When the waves rose up high over her head, they dragged her below to the ocean's bed. She sank down deep in the Klippa she fell, and came to be trapped in an oyster shell. But she never got along with that abomination, and the irritation led to her own transformation. As more than a few years flew by, she grew to be bigger, smoother, more beautiful too. On the seafloor in that shellfish she laid, but decade after decade she prayed, until at last one day she was saved, when a hand brought her up from the depths back to the dry land. The shell, it was broken, and she gleamed in the light, so perfectly rounded and creamy white. 3 dips she was rinsed in water, and since that day she sits as the crown of a prince. I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but none of them compares with my precious pearl. Yes, I've seen many gems in my journeys through the world, but none of them compares with my precious pearl.
Wow, Ari, that was incredible. And Mazel Tov on your anniversary. And
Thank you.
My wife asked me why I don't write things like this for her. I told her name not Pearl. I don't know what she's on about. Thank you. That was incredible. It's always worth being greedy, you see. Shkaya, thank you so much.
Of course. It's always, the pleasure is always mine when I get to join you guys. So thanks for having me again.
We'll do it again soon.
Yes.
Seeing your prepared rap on Thursday night.
Oh, yeah. We just filmed the video yesterday. It was so much fun. We set up a nice Purim Suda. I had all my family dressed in some nice Persian garments. So you guys are gonna enjoy it. It's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
we're looking forward to it. Good Shabbos, everybody. God bless. Time for candle lighting, everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye. And
Good
Dovi
Shabbos,
and
Rabbi.
Sean, you can now actually sit next to each other. And don't know if you have one camera. Bye.